everybody, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. Today I'm going to be making a 3-item meal. I'm going to make a whole meal. This is items that complement each other and go very, very well together. So I'm going to be making pork chops. I'm going to be making a cauliflower, scalloped cauliflower is what I like to call them. They're like scalloped potatoes but use cauliflower instead. So I'm going to be making that, and I'll be making some black-eyed peas. So let me tell you a little bit about black-eyed peas. If you are wanting to do ketosis, you're wanting to get into that ketosis level, you're going to not want to do the black-eyed peas, because black-eyed peas will kick you out of ketosis. They are very high in carbs. They actually have about 33 grams in a serving. The carbs that are in black-eyed peas are actually complex carbohydrates. And what that does, it offers a steadier release of energy rather than a spike in your blood sugar. So they are actually okay if you are diabetic, but if you're wanting to get in that ketosis stage, I wouldn't do the black-eyed peas. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use about 1/4 of a stick of butter. We're going to put that in with our chopped up cauliflower. I've already chopped mine up there. We're going to put that in a skillet or a covered baking dish like I have right here. We're going to put that on high heat. Okay, so then I've got all of my seasonings out that I'm going to use. I have some ground turmeric, garlic, some Steak King spices, some onion powder, and some red peppers, and also some lemon pepper and some blackened spice. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on my cauliflower. Now you can put as much as you want to or as little as you want to. It's all up to you. You can use different spices. So once it gets to sizzling a little bit, you got a little bit of oil under there, you want to put your lid on there. If you're using a skillet, put your skillet lid on there and turn that down to about 250. And you want to keep a good eye on it and put a good sizzle on it. See there? Oh, it looks delicious already. So once you got that going, so once you get your cauliflower kind of softened up, kind of al dente, you'll want to go ahead and get your cheeses out. And you can see that I like all different kinds of cheese in my scallops. If I'm making scallop potatoes, I use a lot of different cheeses as well. But I've got my cheddar, I've got my provolone, I've got my provolone and mozzarella, and I've got American cheese. And I'm also going to fry up some bacon for it. Go ahead and break up your American cheese in there. And you can put the rest of your cheeses on there. You can put as much as you want to or as little as you want to. I personally like a lot of cheese in mine. You can also slice up an onion and put in there too. I didn't do it this time, but a lot of times I'll slice up an onion and put it in there as well. Check my bacon. It's looking pretty good. You want it pretty crispy because you're going to crumble it up to the top there. So I also will usually pour in my bacon grease in with that too. So there you got it. You have your bacon on there. Oh, that smells so good. And I like to stir mine around a little bit, and I like to get a little brown crust on the bottom there, just from the cheese. The cheese kind of gets a little brown to it. Oh, it's so good that way. You may not want the crusty brown on the bottom. If you don't like that, then just turn your heat down a little bit lower and don't cook it quite as long as I do. Alright, so when you are dealing with a lot of condensation, especially if you're making gravy or something like that, you don't want to pour all that water off of the lid back into your what you're cooking, because it'll just add way too much moisture to that. So I always pour mine out, even if I'm using a skillet and I'm making gravy, especially gravy. It can break your gravy apart really quick. So you'll want to pour that extra water out and maybe even dry it with a paper towel. It looks yummy. It's steaming up my camera. It looks so good. I wish you could smell it. So there you go. You can see that I've finished my casserole, and it's going to be so yummy. And I've got my stuff out here ready for my pork chops. I've got I use coconut oil to cook it in. I've got some Greek seasoning. I've got my Steak King. I use this stuff with everything. I've got some Famous Dave's steak burger spices, and just any kind of spice that you want to use. That's just the ones that I like to use. And you can go ahead and get you some of your coconut oil and put that in your frying pan or skillet, whatever you're using. And you don't want your coconut oil to be hot when you put your pork chops in there. So I'll go ahead and melt mine off, and then I'll turn the frying pan off and let it cool down a little bit. The reason for that is that coconut oil can sometimes catch on fire, basically. So you want to be careful with that. So I always let mine cool off just a little bit, because when you throw those pork chops in there, it just, it just splatters everywhere. All right, so you can see those are just beautiful pork chops. Now I got these at a local butcher, and I highly recommend, if you have a butcher shop near you, please get your meat there and help support your local farmers. And honestly, their meat cannot be beat. It is just delicious. So then you want to go ahead and put your spices on there. You can put as much or as little as you want to. You can put different spices. You can put whatever you want to on there. You're just going to do one side, and you're going to go ahead and put that in your frying pan. And see, my olive oil's not hot, so it's not going to pop me and cause a fire or anything. So you just want to put those in there, and keep in mind that one thing with meat is the less you flip it over, the more tender and more juicy it is. So this I'm only going to flip one time. So I'm going to go ahead and put my spices on the top side, and I'm going to go ahead and let that cook. And I'm not going to flip that over until the other side is nice and brown and the way that I want it. And then I'll flip it over after that. Like I said, it'll make your meat so much more tender and juicy, because when you're stabbing it with the fork to flip it over and everything, you're releasing all that juice out of it. So I've got my black-eyed peas here, and I go ahead and I always smash my cans, always, because there's lots of little critters around, and you don't want one of them running around your neighborhood with a can on their head. So you can see there the pork chops. I flipped them over, got this side brown, that side brown, and they are just perfect. Got my black-eyed peas here. They're pretty much ready to go. I put a little bit of bacon in the top, and the bacon I also got at my butcher shop, and it just cannot be beat. There's no comparison to that kind of bacon from the butcher shop. So I've got my pork chops are all finished. My black-eyed peas are pretty much finished. They're so good. So now I'm just going to go ahead and check on my cauliflower here. It should be ready as well. I had already turned it down to about 200, 250, just to keep it warm. Just let that cauliflower finish getting cooked all through and through, and there you have it. That's my plate. That's my pork chop and my delicious cauliflower, and I'm having me another Zevia today. This is a different flavor than I had the other day, I believe. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a whole video on the Zevias and the different flavors, and which ones I like, which ones I don't really like, kind of what they taste like, and everything like that. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Like I said, this is a meal. I just went ahead and did a whole complete meal. I think I'm going to probably do most of my videos this way, because that way you can get an idea of your whole meal that you're going to be cooking. And I'm ready to eat, I tell you. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope you'll try to do this recipe, and if you do, good luck to you, and I hope you really enjoy it. I did take a picture of my sister's plate before she ran off with it. And she was ready to eat too, and she puts a little sour cream on her black-eyed peas. That's the way she's always eat them. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you fix it for yourselves and your family, and thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and God bless all of you.